possible.
Checkered flag is out. Who gets it done? It's a photo finish for Branch Hatch coming to the line.
From the push, I don't know. This is going to be a photo finish.
Oh, Stone Colby taking the checkered flag to the inside. Who's it going to be? It's a photo finish. Give it to Brendan Burt. Conquers Watkins Glen. Gets turned across the line.
Thank you for joining us, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure. Good evening, and welcome to Mid-Ohio, where tonight a new season begins as Apex Motor Club and West Coast Sim Racing come together for round one of MX-5 Cup competition. There are few better places to open a championship than Mid-Ohio. This is a circuit built on rhythm, precision, and patience. A track where every corner feeds the next, where small mistakes quickly become costly. In these cup cars, that challenge becomes even more demanding because momentum is everything, and clean execution is the difference between attacking and falling behind. Round one is where the tone gets set. The drivers are ready. The pressure starts now. And the road to the championship begins at Mid-Ohio. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's a pleasure to be your host, as always. On behalf of West Coast Sim Racing, on behalf of Apex Motor Club, I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, taking you from green to checkered flag tonight. Open setup for the drivers around the 2.21 miles and 1,400 feet nearly of elevation that the drivers have to deal with. Only 130 feet of elevation change throughout the 13 corners, 5 to the left, 8 to the right in total here in Lexington, Ohio, the track that was founded since 1962. Keys to the race is obviously protecting the momentum in these cup cars. Number 2 is maximizing your keyhole exit. Leads down the run to the straightaway and creates both attacking and defending opportunities. Staying disciplined through the S's in Thunder Valley, that's where rhythm matters most. And obviously building the race patiently, as we're forcing the issue can typically backfire. An MX-5, clean entries, strong exits, and staying mistake-free is going to be more valuable than one big move. No points to look at so far, but we have 5 minutes left on the clock to scope out what the drivers are all up to. So far, it's Brandon Birch topping the charts with a 1:35.048. Less than a tenth back is going to be Luke Cantor. What can Luke do in the Brady bunch? Try to disrupt anything from the driver ahead. Jacob Bolland, Thomas Divley, Diego Valdemara all out here on track, trying to stitch it together. Less than 5 minutes remaining. What can anybody do with such little time left to go? Let's go on board with Cantor and see how he fares coming through the S's. A little bit of racing going on here as we start the lap. Coming through turn 1, keeping it nice and tight, going out wide as far as possible. This is important because it leads you down into the keyhole. The keyhole is going to be turn number 2 here. Luke Cantor still 52 thousandths behind his opponent. If we can get a little help from the draft up ahead to give him the dosing help that he needs. Or is he going to get a cork in a bottle right now from the driver ahead? Probably going to flashy of the headlights here and now to try to get a push down the back straight. Rolling straight line. And gets alongside here for turn 4. And flicks it back around through the S's of turn 6, turn 7, up the blind crest of turn 8 before we get down to the braking zone of turn 9. This is where action is going to happen. Thunder Valley, folks. Coming through the backside of the track, the kink of Thunder Valley is very important to get right. All the way through turn 11, the carousel of turn 12. Make sure you don't leave the opening there on the inside line is very important to not get attacked. And this challenges them all the way down out of 13, down the start-finish line. And Cantor can't find anything better than P2 on the good of things for now. The Colby train in full existence. Slater, Stone, then Nico running 3, 4, 5 currently. Few drivers failing to get laps in right now. Virgil Kazdak and Jacob Krask and Jason Holcomb refusing to get laps done despite getting more than 3 done. None of them have been valid thus far. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you very much for joining the Apex Motor Club West Coast Sim Racing MX-5 inaugural event of this championship. Less than 20 seconds left on the clock, and it looks like it's going to go the way for Birch right now. Daniel Ramirez here for the Axis team, trying to get anything done across the stripe, but he's only got 5 seconds remaining and more than 3/4 of the lap left to go. Drivers able to get their last laps completed by the looks of it. Check flag is officially out for the session. We'll get the unofficial results here in just a second, folks, but I just want to say thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned, whether you're watching live now or in the future. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notifications for when West Coast Sim Racing goes live next. Here in Lexington, Ohio, a track that's one of America's oldest permanent road courses. Opened in 1962, has hosted everything from Can-Am to IndyCar to IMSA and SCCA runoffs. We got Pookie Parker here again cheering on Jacob Bolland. Here we go. Let's get those results posted for us. Birch, Cantor, Colby, the 1-2-3 punch combo. Fourth was Stone. Fifth for Nico, Connor Cunningham, Josh Farrer, Joe Ray, Warren Johnson, Josh Hunter, Darren Colby, Daniel Ramirez, Jacob Bolland, Jason Holcomb, David Ramirez, Thomas Divley, Diego Valdemara, Jacob Krask, Virgil Kazdak. They're going to round out the 19 participants. Take a look at that grid. It'll be Birch and Cantor on the first row. Then on the second, it'll be Slater Colby and Stone Colby. Nico Colby and Connor Cunningham on the third. Fourth row for Josh Farrer and Joe Rainey. Our number 5 belongs to Warren Johnson and Josh Hunter. Our number 6, Darren Colby and Daniel Ramirez. Our number 7, Jacob Bolland and Jason Holcomb here. Our number 8, David Ramirez and Thomas Divley. Row number 9 for Diego Valdemara and Jacob Krask. Row number 10 belongs to Virgil Kazdak. Drivers revving their engine as eager as ever to get going. Formation lap underway. And it looks like we'll have an official rolling start here for the MX-5 Cup. A 45-minute race on the clock here in Mid-Ohio. Drivers putting in amazing lap times here tonight as we get ready for the West Coast Sim Racing Apex Motor Club inaugural event. Who are you rooting for? Let us know in the YouTube chat who your favorite driver is, who you're cheering on. I know we got some Jacob Ballin fans in the chat tonight. MX-5 Racing produces some of the best wheel-to-wheel racing you could ever ask for. And with a grid this packed of iRating, it's gonna be amazing to see who comes out on top at the end of the night. Waiting for us to take to the start finish straight. We're gonna get some of the pack to start in turn 13 by the looks of it. Here we go, ready to go green. And green, green, green is the flag color as we go racing here in MX-5 Fight Night. Brought to you by Apex Motor Club and West Coast Sim Racing. Down and towards turn one, Brendan Birch leads Luke Cantor, Slater Colby, Nico Colby, and we've lost a Colby. It's going to be Stone in the background off before we even got to the keyhole. Daniel Ramirez starting back from pit lane, avoiding the carnage in hand. There goes Connor Cunningham down the order, and let's see what happened to him as he just tumbled down the order like a stone. Oh, Connor Cunningham was already involved in an incident. And does he rejoin the racetrack? Oh, don't do it, Connor. Don't do it, Connor. And he did. And he did. So Connor back in this battle with David A. Ramirez. And he's caught back up, but battle for the lead still includes 10 cars. And Birch Cantor, Nico Colby, Stone Colby. A little late check up there from the vehicle buyer's car. That'll be the third place vehicle of number 16, the young Nico Colby. Couple of wheels dipped off into the grass, coming through turn number one. Compromises your run all the way down to turn two. Cantor, Birch, Colby here. 2x2 formation. This isn't Noah's Ark, but we are going to line up according to his rules. Birch and Cantor wheel to wheel through the kink. Thrown through turn three. Into turn four, Oh my goodness, the 18 and then the 16 gets involved. 6's nose into it. Now the 36 of Birch trying to go over the blind crest of turn 6. Gets it planted, and now we're still wheel to wheel coming through the S's. All the way to turn 8, into turn 9. Someone's off into the wall. I think that's Luke Cantor. As the Cantor debacle comes to a conclusion, Birch loses one position to Nico Colby, the young gun, a real-life GR86 driver now for Copeland Motorsports. And I wonder what could have been if Jeremy Fletcher was on the grid tonight. See if we can get a replay of what happened to Cantor here. So here's the side-by-side. Oh, and whoa. I'm not sure what to make of that. Not sure what to make of that at all. The track goes one way, the cars go another way. Either way, here comes Slater Colby in the number 25, chasing down Birch. 2.1K rated driver, challenging a couple of 4.5s up ahead. Not too shabby. Darren Colby caught up in a mess with Warren Johnson, the 1-2-4 Sprite Mobile up the road. Hayden Hitchcliffe here for Bolland. Give him some obligatory screen time here in just a second once the battles cool off a little bit. Juan Cordova in the YouTube chat simply saying, go. To nobody in particular, just go, Juan. Josh Hunter chased down by Stone Colby. Here comes the attack from behind. The 52 looks to the inside line on the number 81 of Josh Hunter, but to no avail. The door was not quite there. Slight mistakes coming through the S's leaves him compromised. Number 81 trying to find a way through Joe Rainey up the road. The number 17 defends hard but fair. Oh, the door is open. The door is wide open. And a slip and slide moment from the 81 opens the door for Stone Colby to recover in the number 52. Couldn't quite act on it, though, as the door was ajar. It wasn't quite open yet. Looking further back at David A. Ramirez and Daniel Ramirez, who are alongside each other on the way through turn 1. Half a second separates the dynamic duo. I'm going to assume are brothers. Down the main straight here into the keyhole. Looks like Danny Ramirez goes for the move. Not one, not two. Definitely 2 positions gained there as he gets through Jacob Krask and David Ramirez. Battle up here still remains between Nico Colby, Brandon Birch, and Slater Colby. No harm, no fouls here between the 5-6 drivers that are battling for the lead right now. It could be one small mistake. It could be a little touch from behind, but that's all it will take for one of these vehicles to not be in the mix any longer. Here at the carousel, doors are open, lines present themselves, but are they going to be successful at the end of the evening? Still have a long way left to go. 45-minute race on the clocks. There will be no competition caution to save any of the drivers tonight. Josh Hunter trying to find the long way around the outside of Slater Colby, and he's going to be able to do so, but getting on the loud pedal, can't quite find the traction in time. Now through Thunder Valley is going to be his next opportunity to strike, but he's got to get it right through the S's. Here, the entrance to the S's are quite tricky. But if anybody can do it, it's these drivers here, this front 6. We did lose Luke Cantor from this 6, and also Connor Cunningham, who's doing so well in practice. I'm just shocked to see that he's not here at the front, the tip of the spear, or the sharp of the knife. Coming out of the final corner, a blanket could be thrown over top 6, separated by just 1.5 seconds in their own right. Here's Joe Rainey and Stone Colby. What about the battle for the lead, though? They're separated by nothing. 36 gives a little hip check to the number 16, but they both end up going a little too wide because there goes the red machine of Nico Colby through and through. Now, what about the 25 of Slater Colby? He's going to try to get involved, but the 81 also gets elbows out. A little push to the 36 to try to give him a little bit of help there, but it doesn't hurt him more than it helps him at the end of the day. Helps the 36, hurts the 25, who now loses the lead of the race. Slater Colby trying to find any way to make this one work. Side by side through the 81. Let's go racing here at Mid-Ohio, folks. The 81 and the 25. Slater Colby and Josh Hunter are going to go after it. Nico Colby gets involved in this one. Now through Thunder Valley. I told you this is where the attack was going to happen. Who's going to blink first on the run up the hill into the braking zone? Nobody wants to make a move into the riskiest part of the track, the carousel. Here we go. 52. Still trying to throw his elbows out. Joe Rainey in the mix, losing out to P6 now. One, two, three. Birch, Slater, Nico, then Josh Hunter. Riding on board with Josh Hunter now. You got a little touch there from Stone Colby. So many different lines being taken going through the carousel. But they all come out equally down the front stretch. And into turn one, it's separated by just about nil between the race leaders. Honestly, this is anybody's ball game in the top six right now. Quiet as a mouse I am, because I'm holding my breath right now, waiting for the inevitable incident to take place. But I feel like if I hold my breath for that long, I might pass out, because the boys here are just driving it pitch perfect right now. Absolute precision and grace. Look at the push from the 25 into the 36. He's not going for an attack. He's really just working with his opponent right now and waiting for the genuine mistake to take place before things get crazy. Here we're going to look at Josh Hunter right now. He's in a bit of a sandwich between Stone Colby and Joe Rainey behind. Hunter in the number 81. Mass Effect badged machine. Looks forward to the 52 up the road. Can't quite catch up. Battle back here between Darren Colby and Warren Johnson as they're separated by around 0.6 of a second. Luke Cantor in his recovery, but here's the dive bomb for the lead. The 25 and Brendan Birch, the number 36, go wheel to wheel, coming through turn number 4, turn number 5, and turn number 6. They have to go single file, right? Not here at West Coast Sim Racing. We're going to go wheel to wheel through some of the fastest, toughest parts of the track. With a little bit of a check up there into the carousel behind the 25, forcing the accordion all the way down the order. .25 leads over Birch, Nico Colby, Stone Colby, and then Josh Hunter. All of them battling for first position here. Anybody's ball game until the 36 looks to the inside line on Slater. We're going to go wheel to wheel, maybe even force a 3-wide situation coming down the back stretch. Because why not? Through the kink of turn 3 into the braking zone of turn 4. Who's latest on the brakes? It'll be the 25 of Slater that backs out early, forcing the 3 wide from behind. Is going to be Josh Hunter, who loses it on his own, I think, and rejoins the racetrack at the S's. Back over to the battle for the lead. It's Nico Colby, Birch, Slater, then Stone. Joe Rainey inherits a position on the evening just by driving calm, cool, and collected. Jason Holcomb chasing down a few drivers tonight. Unfortunately for him, though, he's lost 2 this evening and has to gain them back the hard way. Diego Valderrama giving the next driver on the chopping block for Holcomb. Whoa, there goes Holcomb, the 427, with a bit of a drift into the carousel. And that's going to hurt his charge back through the grid. That'll be 3 down at the end of the evening. We talked about Connor T. Cunningham's charge, or lack thereof, earlier in the qualifying session, but hold your horses. Here's the battle between the 16 and the 36. Nico Colby through and through at the S's, and the battle for the lead very much alive. Race control throws out a yellow flag. Yellow flag thrown out. Looks like we will be getting the competition caution. I said we will not be getting. And here we go, folks. Safety car picks up the field right at the halfway point of this event. Do a timeline check-in on some of the drivers. What about Virgil Kakdak? Up 5 positions this evening, starting with a low of P19. Back of the pack. Last to first challenge, however you want to look at it. Most of the field bunched up behind the pace car now. All the way down to Jacob Bolland and Danny Ramirez we have picked up. Lights still on the pace car, so we'll get one more lap to hang around. Perfect time to give a big shout out and thanks to all of our supporters, whether you're here live now or in the future. Really appreciate you giving a like, subscribe, ringing the bell for West Coast Sim Racing's YouTube channel. Get notifications for when we go live next every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 7:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We go racing, whether it's in GR86, MX-5s, or some GT3s, or even some Formula cars. We'll find out what's going to be on the table for this Thursday, as we have a very exciting event and championship planned out for you. Lights are out on the pace car. Drivers squared up 2x2, Noah's Ark formation, and trying to generate some heat in the tires right now are the number 18 and the 66, Diego Valdemara and Luke Cantor. What can Cantor do to climb back through the order? A driver who was very impressive in the GR86 race now has to do it again here for West Coast Sim Racing twice in 1 week. Having climbed back through the pack has got to be a challenge and just not a good feeling. It's got to be demoralizing a little bit. Steve Birch cheering on Brandon Birch right now. Birch running in P2 for Steve's knowledge, or to let him know. No pit stop yet from the field. Expect to see this be a green flag run to the very end. Here we go for the second time tonight. Take the green flag from Barney the flagman. Through the final corner, the 16 takes off, leaving the 25 and the 36 to squabble over the pieces. Nico Slater, Brandon Birch down into third now. Joe Rainey in the mix with the number 18, Luke Cantor. Keep our eyes on Luke and see if he goes for these moves early on while the packs are still tight. Luke Cantor does get around Josh Hunter. He's still down 3 positions from where he started. So 18 still has some work to do to get back up to even where he started this event. Birch and Colby wheel to wheel coming through turn number 4. All the way through the S's. The vehicle buyers' cars chase each other down. Whoa, no, that's Darren Colby in the background. The number 47 collecting a handful of cars in the meanwhile. Jacob Ballin being one of them. Oh no, for the Ballin fans. Dom's Dibley sporting a red, white, and blue beer budget machine. Being chased down by that David Ramirez and Jason Holcomb. Up here, 2 by 2 going into keyhole. 16 leads the 36 and the 25. And the 52. And 52 gets a better run, actually, on that 25 of Slater Colby. Here we go, side by side, 3 wide, going down into turn number 4. 25, look at the stamp and ascend to the inside line, but it's not quite enough. 4 of these bumblebees trying to go abreast into corner number 4. Worked out well for all the drivers. Somehow, some way, everybody came through unscathed. Here's Luke Cantor, again throwing his elbows out and causing havoc along the way. Number 18. Trying to grind his way through the order. He's done an amazing job up until this point. Now he's got the hard work to do ahead of him, catching some of the fastest drivers on the grid tonight. Birch is in the lead, Steve, by a narrow margin as the 16 tries to attack. Brandon Birch defends again. 3 abreast, coming through the kink, down in towards turn 4. The 16 break the latest. And he'll make hay while the sun is shining. Colby, Birch, and then Colby again. Big mistake there. That'll be the 52, losing touch a little bit. Coming out of turn 13. And now Birch loses the lead to Colby ahead. And the Colby train has a Birch-sized thorn in its side. Single file being the order of operations. With just about 15 minutes left to go, the drivers know the clock is winding down and the time to make mistakes is definitely over. Nico Colby under attack is Birch, side by side. Birch goes for the lead, parks it on the apex at turn number 12, and he's gonna get it done at the carousel. Here we go again. 25 to the inside of the 36. Birch not too keen on being P2. Just phenomenal battles here. Again, 7 drivers all in it for P1 currently. Here we go. The 18 now leads over the 25 of Slater Colby. Keeping my eyes peeled on Luke Cantor right now. On board with Luke as we come down into the S's out of turn 4 in a little bit of trouble right now. He's getting bumped from behind while trying to attack the cars ahead at the same time. A little too far back to be on the attack. He's being a little cork in the bottle, if I'm being honest. The 25 is going to get a little impatient with this after a while. Maybe Luke has used up all of his tires at this point in time. Taking a look at the last laps by. 36.0 from Luke. I take it all back. He's one of the fastest drivers on the grid right now. Best lap time going the way of Josh Hunter, though, the 1:35.134. Bit of a check up there. 18. Now the 36 of Birch. Gets alongside. "36. Look at the stamp. The send is on. Call United States Postal Service, because we're taking this one all the way to the bank tonight. Birch is not going to give up." Oh, way off the track goes the 18, bouncing his way back on the rejoin in front of the 25. He might get a slowdown penalty for that. No, he does not. Luke is left to his own devices to pick up the pieces alongside Slater Colby in the 25. Josh Hunter taking advantage of the situation now, gets ahead of Luke Cantor, and now the 25 is left to pick up the pieces that the 81 is going to leave him. Luke under threat. He's going to start losing positions here if he's not careful. Josh Hunter already made quick work of Luke. Now the 25 of Slater is looking to do the same. Birch is going to challenge for the lead any moment now. A little cheeky look onto the number 16, but no doing. Coming down the hill at turn number 4. 36 of Birch tries to find a move on the 16 in the lead, and young Nico Colby putting on all the blocks tonight. Really great battle here between Warren Johnson and Daniel Ramirez. Saw Daniel charge through the field earlier on in the race with his brother, and now he's duking it out with Warren Johnson, Josh Farrer, and Connor Cunningham side by side, going down into the keyhole. It'll be the 2-1 of Josh Farrer getting the move there, but now it's Connor T. Cunningham getting the draft from the cars ahead is very helpful. He might be a little too far back to get anything done from Danny Ramirez up the road. Into the braking, Connor T. Cunningham tries to brake later than his opponent, but no doing on the occasion to the number 21. Back over to the battle to the lead. Nico Colby leads Birch and Josh Hunter. Ramirez still in battles with Warren Johnson, but we'll keep our eyes glued here as we get through the final 5 minutes, and the battle for the lead remains spicy. Here comes the 81 of Josh Hunter to get involved with Brandon Birch. Where did Josh Hunter come from in all this? Remember, Josh Hunter was no slouch in his own right for the Porsche Cups last season, and he seemed to match that classification of skill and talent very well. Coming across the stripe now for the leaders. Last lap's around 136s. So expect to see this lap plus one more. Here comes Cantor around the outside of the number 81. 18 in the 81. And trying to invert their numbers and their positions. Cantor gets a wheel well along the inside of Josh Hunter, the driver who's up 7 positions right now. Take that 6 as Cantor tries to challenge him for everything he's got. Into the braking of turn number 4. Josh Hunter sends it up the inside, leaves enough racing space on the outside for a car to exist though. Josh Hunter tumbles down to P4 on the last lap. We're going to go racing, and everybody's going to throw everything they can at the wall. Colby leads Birch, leads Cantor. I didn't see if Barney was waving the white flag or not. Looks like we still have enough time for one more lap at the end of the day. Josh Hunter throwing out the blocks. Boxes in the 52 of Stone Colby. Leaves himself vulnerable to Cantor's attack, though. Again, side by side goes Josh Hunter with Luke Cantor. And Thomas Divley stays out of the way for the battle for the lead. It's going to be very close if we're going to get a bonus lap or not. And we will get one additional bonus lap, folks. With 1 second remaining, what can Birch do? More importantly, what can Luke Cantor do? Here comes Birch into the keyhole. No doing. Gets a little wiggle on corner exit. Slight steering correction. Little block to Cantor. Forces him to the outside line. Coming through the kink. Birch to the inside. Cantor cannot get the slipstream. The VehicleBuyers.com machine in the lead of the race is number 16 of Nico Colby. Bumping and banging goes the 36 into the 18. And Birch is going to get spun around by Luke Cantor. That's going to give it up to the 52 and the 18. Stone Colby picks up the pieces into P3, but a 1.2 second gap. Nico Colby is going to walk away with the win. Luke Cantor with a slick drift into the carousel. It's going to go the way of Nico Colby at the end of the day for P1. Waiting for our drivers to come in to the interview room. We'll get the unofficial results posted here in just a second. For West Coast Sim Racing and Apex Motor Club, it was Nico Colby who led us for 21 of those laps. Luke Cantor came home in P2, Josh Hunter in third. Hard Charger award going to Josh Hunter, fastest lap going to Josh Hunter as well. Brennan Birch came home in fourth. Joe Rainey in fifth. Slater Colby, Warren Johnson, Josh Farrer, Connor Cunningham, Stone Colby round out our top 10. David A. Ramirez, Jason Holcomb, Diego Valderrama, Darren Colby, Jacob Bolin, Virgil Kakdak, Daniel Ramirez, Thomas Divley, and Jacob Krask round out the 19 participants. Let's go ahead and talk to our drivers. First, we're going to go ahead and talk to none other than, looks like we've got a little bit of a mix-up here. Looks like we've got none other than Josh Hunter. First and foremost, we're going to talk to him. Josh Hunter, heck of a race tonight. That was absolutely phenomenal stuff. Net gain of 6 for you tonight. Talk to us about the race and how it felt to come out where you did at the end of the day.
That was extremely stressful towards the end.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted Nico to hurry up so we can get away from Luke because they're kind of scary behind me. But, as usual, there was a wreck in the last lap, so that kind of helped. And some penalty, it looked like. So, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, definitely looked like a fun race. At least that beginning half looked very diplomatic between the first 7 drivers, right? You guys all seem to be working together. Competition caution comes out, kind of ruins the the diplomacy you guys had in play. And then it was just no holds bar. Kind of what was the mindset and how did you detect the change in conversation?
I just didn't want to be that guy to take anyone out, so I'm glad I was able to do that. Other than that, just keep on track and see what's going on and try to, I don't know, be aware and alert and try to avoid any incidents that might happen in front of me.
It worked out well for you this time, Josh Hunter. Last question for you. Is there any similarity between the MX-5 and the Porsche Cups? It seems like these momentum-driven cars seem to just suit your driving style.
The Porsche pushes a lot more on corner entry. I don't know, because I don't really drive this car. I'm surprised it's working out for me right now, but we'll see as the rest of the season goes on.
Absolutely. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank?
Oh, you for the broadcast, Warren, and all the Apex guys for this fun league, and everyone else that joins us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Josh Hunter, for joining me in the broadcast booth here in Mid-Ohio. Have a great day, sir.
Thank you, too.
Next up, we're going to talk to Luke Cantor, and Luke came home in second place by the looks of it. At the end of the day, Luke had a hard-fought battle. An early incident nearly took you out of the race, but the competition caution drags you back into it. And a P2 at the end of the day has got to feel pretty good after the way the race started for you.
Yeah, it definitely does feel good. I know I had the pace, and so without the competition caution either way, I was still fighting my way back up. But no, I had a lot of fun racing. Unfortunate, I don't know if it was taken out, but it sucked the incident that happened with Brandon, but I'm happy I was able to come back and land P2.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, you climbed back up to where you started this event, P2. Do you feel like you had anything else you could have thrown out there for potentially the win at the end of the day?
I think, going into, I don't know if it was turn 3 or whatever, kind of got muscled a bit by Brandon. I think, though, I might have got around Nico if it wasn't for that. I definitely think I had pace in me to win it, and I feel like I could have won it, but some unfortunate incidents and other things. Still happy with P2, but maybe next time we'll get the P1.
Hopefully so. Luke, anybody you want to shout out or anybody you want to thank here in Victory Lane?
Just everyone that comes out to these, you for commentating, and yeah, like running this league, and hope to come back and win some races.
Sounds good, Luke. Good luck to you. Take care and have a good night, my friend.
Thank you, you as well.
Last but not least, we're going to talk to the young gun himself, the number 16, the Copeland Motorsports driver, Nico Colby. How's it feel to come out on top for the Apex Motor Club inaugural event with the MX-5 Cup Series?
Yeah, no, just super good about this. The track's definitely a tough one to pass and race. Just car setup was a lot of it, and draft was huge.
Now, when you don't have the draft, how do you manage to stay out in the lead? You know, we didn't have Jeremy Fletcher out here today to kind of quote unquote show us how it's done to back up the pack. But you did a great job of letting the duos fight behind you and really control the field. You know, how did you do that? Or is that something you picked up from Jeremy Fletcher, of course, the greatest driver of all time?
Yeah, you do definitely pick that up from him. But it was also a lot of just picking the right lines at the right times. Like sometimes you go inside, sometimes you go outside. Just depends who you're racing and what's the situation.
How do you study things like that, you know, over the course of a race versus I think most drivers probably study a racetrack and racecraft as hot lapping. How do you develop that racecraft on the fly if you were to give advice to anybody out there who's kind of looking to develop their wheel-to-wheel racing skills?
Yeah, honestly, just go to officials, any car, any class, and that's only most of the way you'll get better is just racing better people than you. So if you just do that a lot, you'll eventually end up with the racecraft.
Good tidbits. I'll put that in my back pocket, Nico. Thank you very much. Now, is there anybody you want to shout out or anybody you want to thank here in Victory Lane from Lexington, Ohio?
Oh yeah, you of course for the broadcast, Warren for the league. Shout out Jeremy, he was too scared to show up because I was gonna win. Mom, Dad, and everyone that helps with the league and shows up.
Right on, Nico. Thank you so much, and shout out to Jeremy Fletcher tonight. Thank you so much, brother. Have a great night, and as always, stay safe out there.
You too, thank you.
Great to hear from the drivers post-race about what was going on through their heads and how things ended up going. One more up on the chopping block. We have Warren Johnson here as well, the organizer here for Apex Motor Club and West Coast Sim Racing, putting this whole shindig together. Warren, you were in a bit of a tussle yourself with, I believe it was not Diego, it was Daniel Ramirez for quite some time.
Josh Fair.
Yeah. How was it duking out with those guys?
Well, they wouldn't get out of the fucking way. That's what it was like. We were with the main pack, and then, by the end of or halfway through the second stint, we were 8 seconds back. And I'm just like, what are we doing? But it was fine. It was good racing with them. I got around them eventually, and then made up a little bit of time, but it was too late by then. But it was still fun. It was still fun to race. So, it's a good group of guys and good group of racers. So either way, it was still good.
Looked like it was a heck of a time here at Mid-Ohio, Lexington. You guys put on a heck of a show this evening. Is there anybody you want to shout out or anybody you want to thank or any announcements for the league, Warren?
Just everyone, all the fans, all the drivers who came out tonight for the first race of the season. It's always great to see a bunch of new faces and some of the same guys that we've had for the last couple of years showing up week in, week out. And it's always great to see. That makes me happy knowing that I can organize these guys and run a good league, but it's thanks to them. They make it a good league too. Their driving ability and their expertise in racing and racecraft. So thanks to all them, and thanks to all the fans on the YouTube. Like and subscribe. We're gonna keep going on this season. Tomorrow we got the GTF series, brand new series for West Coast Sim Racing. We got GT3s at Daytona road course at night tomorrow, but thankfully this track's lit up unlike Monday. But no, it's gonna be a good one. And then next week will be F4 cars, so don't miss that one, guys. It's gonna be a good race. And of course, thanks to you, Sagar, for coming on for this season as our permanent broadcaster. So appreciate that. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you very much, Warren. Have a great night, my friend.
All right, you as well. Bye-bye.
Well, folks, here from Lexington, and we're going to have to call it a night, folks. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag as usual. On behalf of West Coast Sim Racing, I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, taking you from green to checkered flag as always. It's been an absolute pleasure. All good things have to come to an end, though, and so shall this. Have a great night, everybody, and as always, stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.